What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. We back in these streets. We always in these streets. We in these work streets. So I just thought I'd make a quick video. I'm going to see, we were supposed to do a video with me and Mike White. I'm going to see if we get that popping today. I'm going to jump in his inbox now because he already talking shit on my tweets. When I said something about Mingo, where I said he didn't have the best situation in Carolina. I'm sure the quarterback situation is better here in Dallas. So, I wasn't making no excuse that they didn't get the receiver, but I'm going to just say you got a better quarterback in Dallas than you had in Carolina, and I don't even know if they really had a plan for him. Mike jumped in the tweet talking about it don't matter if you're a receiver in a healthy scratch. So I'm like, man, we're going to have to just do a show because you're talking trash on my tweets already. So, you know what? We're going to have to just show and argue about it. That's fine. I don't care. You hear me, Mike? Check this video out. So I'm going to look at both sides of the spectrum because that's what I do. I don't sway one way just because 35 million people saying it. I don't sway because y'all saying it. I don't switch because everybody in the streets is saying it. I beat to my own drum. So when I look at this Mingo thing, the first side of it, I'm going to look at the side of where the Cowboys faction that says we should have got a receiver. I feel that for the aspect of you didn't have to give up that 4th round pick for Mingo. You could have held on to it, came into this new draft, and if you wanted to go get McMillan, you had a pick then to give up to go get him. So you probably dropped the ball right there getting Mingo because you didn't have to give up that 4th. And he hadn't really showed you anything in the first year and a half to give up that 4th. But to that point, he was drafted in the 2nd. My guy, Lance Zierlein, ain't my guy, but that's the way I follow when he does all the draft breakdowns. And he be super on point with the prediction of the draft and the breakdown of the player. He predicted Mingo being a 2nd or 3rd rounder. Okay, he went in the 2nd. The production wasn't great at Ole Miss, but he's a big, strong receiver. You know what I mean? Could be one of those, 3 receiver sets saying that. So, but they spent a 2nd, you got him for a 4th. So that was probably what he was really going to be drafted in. So that's what you spent it on. So, okay, you see where I'm going with. They picked him in the 2nd, Dallas got him in the 4th, so he probably was a 4th. But you didn't have to spend that 4th, and you probably could have used that 4th to get McMillan because Carolina and Dallas was possibly having a trade in works, and Carolina was probably taking Dallas to the woodshed to get McMillan because they had to go up like 4 spots to get him. So, Carolina was probably asking for all kind of stuff, and they already got your 4th round pick, so that's why Dallas was probably like, no. So Carolina probably fleeced you on that one. I get that part. You feel me? And you didn't probably get McMillan because you didn't have enough ammo to go get it. I get that part. But from that side, so that's where I can understand where that faction is frustrated, where you gave up that 4th round pick because maybe you could have used that to get McMillan this year. I get that. So I understand that. And then, Luther Burden was a guy I thought they were going to try to get, but then the Bears snatched him. You can't do anything about that because I know they weren't going to move up to get no Luther Burden. No, they were going to have to give up some picks to do that. So from that aspect, you still didn't address speed on the receiver side. CeeDee Lamb still has Jalen Tolbert, Jonathan Mingo, Jalen Brooks, Parrish Campbell. We ain't count him. Turbin, you don't really got no guys. They hit the undrafted, but they're undrafted. You didn't get no guys. You didn't really tap the receivers like you're supposed to. In the first 3 rounds, you probably should have got one. I feel all that. Isaiah Bond, everybody's, clamoring, why didn't you get Isaiah Bond? That was speed right there for sure. He didn't even get drafted. Nobody touched him. But, I'm going to just keep it real. I get what, I say, Schottenheimer wants these high character guys now, and they don't want to deal with the foolery. You want to have guys that are going to be able to be on the playing field. And then I heard so many people saying, Jason Garrett Part 2. That's what he's saying. This ain't no damn Jason Garrett Part 2. This Brian Schottenheimer don't remind me nothing of no damn Jason Garrett. That ain't even close with it. I never believed in Jason Garrett from day one he stepped on and getting hired. I've been believing on Schottenheimer since day one. Never believed in Garrett, dog. Don't stop making that whack-ass comparison. That's lazy. When people make comparisons, that's a lazy-ass comparison to say it's Jason Garrett and Brian Schottenheimer. That's a lazy-ass comparison. That's a dumb-ass comparison, too. And I honestly take it personal because I don't see them two even being remotely the same. But anyway, So I feel like when I say Shotty was getting high character guys, because he wants guys that are going to be available and play for him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's this choir boy guy. Oh, I want choir boys. We can't get no. No, I don't feel that. But he's going to have some conviction to it. And from what I seen with Isaiah Bond, he just turned himself in on April 10th on this sexual assault charge. And I read the case. And I ain't agreeing with the girl or the guy or anything. But I read the case. And that happened right before the draft. Like 14 days before the draft, he turned himself in on a warrant for the assault charge. Bro, who gonna touch that right now? I'm just saying, yeah, he went undrafted. Maybe you take a flyer because he went undrafted, and maybe I could see right there you're not drafting. You could take the flyer then. I could see that, but I feel like Schottenheimer's like, I ain't dealing with that. So I ain't mad. I would like to see that, but sooner or later you gotta take a stand in these cases. It's crazy, especially these sexual assault cases. Them is real sensitive in these streets now. So, like I said, I feel the side, the faction that says, why didn't we do it? I feel that faction. But here's the other side of the faction that I'm going to say too is, you know, first year he got 85 targets, got like 43 catches for like 466. Nothing great, no touchdowns in year and a half. The knock on the inconsistent hands, wasn't creating separation. I looked a little bit of the tape, you know, when he was at Dallas or when he was at Carolina. I think it was both parties. Quarterbacking was not good at all. And yeah, you probably weren't doing good. But I also say you had a head coach for 1 year, Frank Wright. You had a coach in one year at Carolina. They drafted him. Frank Wright drafted him. Frank Wright didn't even want Bryce Young. He wanted C.J. Stroud. So that tells you right now, and are we going to sit there and say the Carolina Panthers have good direction over there? They got terrible direction over there. They fired their coach after 1 year. 1 year. And your quarterback's still suspect. I don't care. He played better, but he's still suspect right now for the number 1 overall pick. He's still suspect. So while we talking about him, you didn't have a good situation over there. So if your leadership is bad, your front office is not doing good, your head coach gets fired after 1 year, you ain't going to tell me there was a world of problems over there? A world of problems? So can I say he was getting real good coaching over there? And that's why if you don't get good coaching, you'll lose your brain and you won't come in the office and practice and play hard. You won't. I'm not making no excuses for no Mingo. But if the situation is bad too, you're a young player, rookie, you can get swallowed up in that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt with that situation over there. And from me, I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt because there was no direction over there and your coach got fired after 1 year. Right? And then the next coach didn't have no investment in you, so why he even looking at you? You get what I'm saying? Also, like I said, the quarterback situation wasn't good. I don't expect Mingo to come in here and be no world beater, but I do say let's give this guy a chance. He is going to still have the problem with the separation because that was the problem in college. He didn't have no world-beating numbers in college. He didn't. But Dallas spent a 4th on him. They didn't get the guy, but they spent a 4th on him, so maybe that's what he really is, a 4th, right? So, yes, Tolbert, Mingo, all these guys don't inspire you. You definitely should go get a veteran. That's why I feel like the Keenan Allen thing is still prevalent to me. Not Amari Cooper. I don't want Amari Cooper back here, and I feel like they're not going to bring him back here for that. The way it ended, I just don't see Dallas bringing him back. And I don't want Amari back because he'd be sulking. That little bit of time he was here, I loved when he was here, but he still sulked. He still did them little things, and he challenged like, I don't know. Like I said, if you had a choice of Keenan Allen and Amari Cooper, bro, I'm taking Keenan Allen because I don't feel like Keenan Allen is going to give you them problems. And I just feel like he's going to give you better than Amari. Better hands. More availability. I know he has the injury issue, and he's a dog. He has a doggish mentality. Where like I said, I feel like his mentality is stronger than Amari's, in my opinion. That's why I would want that better. Now, if you got a Keenan Allen and you blend in those other guys, I don't feel as bad. Yeah, you still need to get some speed. You know what I mean? But I just feel like kind of give Mingo a little bit of a chance here. I love how they got Jaden Blue. I think that's somebody who can you really use as a receiver package out the backfield as a running back. So it's a curious case of Mingo. That's what this title of this video is, a curious case of Mingo. But if I make a tweet and say, hey, you know, situation wasn't that great in Carolina, let's see what happens over here. I think the quarterback situation is better, and then people instantly start hating. You hating, Mike. I don't want to say get this kid a chance. I'm not saying he's going to be a world beater because you didn't have great numbers in college. You're probably not going to have great numbers in the NFL. But you spent a fourth. That ain't terrible. Let's see what Dak can do with him, because Dak does, make court receivers a little bit better. And I just don't think Mingo's going to be terrible here in Dallas. I think Mingo might be okay here. The main thing Dallas is lacking is speed. And let's just keep it real. Mike, you was hyping the Golden. He went 19th, I think. He better turn the F up at Green Bay. That's what I do know. He better turn the F up because you're taking a big chance on a receiver too. Nobody wanted no damn Golden at 12. I didn't. That was too high for him. That's why he didn't go. Oh, I think Gold went like 22nd or something like that. He didn't even go 19. That was more of his spot, not 12. That was an overdraft, Mike. I'm talking to you specifically, big dog, because that was an overdraft getting him at 12. He went in the right spot in the 20s. You would have been overdrafting him, just like they would have did Mingo. So, yeah, he had speed, but I don't think he didn't have he had modest numbers too. The only thing you're talking about him was speed, but he had modest numbers. So this ain't I'm jumping up and down for Mingo. This is to say let's give him a little bit of a chance before we just throw him away and say that was a terrible fourth round trade. Let's give him a chance, see what happens. He might produce a little bit better because you got a better quarterback and a better situation, better coaching. I think coaching is going to be key here. Junior Adams is a good receivers coach. I think he can relate. And then you got a good base in Schottenheimer. Let's see what that coaching can do to bring his game up, because coaching does matter, right? So that's why I'm gonna give him a little bit of a chance, and I'm not gonna go hard on him right now. Let's see. The curious case of Mingo. Let's see, because I think Junior Adams is going to help elevate his game, and then you got a coach in Schottenheimer who can mentally talk to him and help bring his game up, and that can help a receiver in the long run. Give me your thoughts. I ain't scared to hear what you got to say. Good game, James. I'm out. Peace.